Good morning, everyone. Can we please stand in body or spirit with our first hymnal in the gray hymnal, number 304, A Fierce Unrest. Very pretty. Good morning, everybody. I am Patrick E., he, him pronouns. It's my pleasure to serve as your worship associate this morning for this service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, also known as UUFCC. This service is being broadcast via Zoom and YouTube, so we try to just use our first names and last initials for privacy. I wish for my gratitude for those supporting the technology this morning, Tom, Corey, and Doug. I also want to acknowledge others responsible for our service, the greeters, snack preparers, Margaret and the choir, and isn't this wonderful behind us? Always a wonderful display every month. I'd like to remind you of a couple simple procedures that will help this broadcast and service run smoothly. Please put your phones on worship mode. At home, you may want to have a chalice or candle ready for the chalice lighting ritual. Whatever your faith or your country or your heritage, you are welcome here. Whoever you are or whoever you love, you are welcome here. No matter your gender identity, you are welcome here. Whether you entered on little feet or briskly walked in or ambled or rolled in, you are welcome here. We are glad you chose this congregation as your place of worship today. If you are new and would like to learn more about our fellowship, you can email Anna at office@uufcc.org or visit our website, which is wonderful, has many things on it. We are glad that you are here with us this morning. Now, if you are new this morning or returning from a period of time away, please raise your hand, and Doug will come around with the mic and just tell us your name and briefly what brought you here. So, there's a new fella.
Hi, my name's Corey. My wife actually brought me here, but she's trying to get my other son out of the car. We worship. Life is worship, so with every breath. So we wanted to find a church that was all accepting, and she heard about you guys, so we decided to come check you out this morning. This is my son, Orson. She'll be in a moment.
Good. Well, yeah, welcome to your family.
Thank you.
Okay, now we will have our prelude, Amazing Grace. Wow, thank you, Margaret. That sets a beautiful mood for our service today. This month, the theme is freedom. And now I want some words for our chalice lighting by Eleanor Roosevelt. Freedom makes a huge requirement of every human being. With freedom comes responsibility. For the person who is unwilling to grow up, the person who does not want to carry his own weight, this is a frightening prospect. With the lighting of the chalice, we bring forth the flame that is a symbol of a flame of compassion, love, and hope, which is held in our hearts. With the lighting of the chalice, we bring forth the light represents our community, our hopes for a better future, and the spirit of our convictions to our principles. As Dennis lights the chalice here in the sanctuary, please join me in the recitation for our affirmation, which is written in your order of service. Love is the spirit of our fellowship, and service is its law. This is our apprehend to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Our next hymn is in the Teal Book, number 1018, Come and Go With Me. So please stand in body or spirit as you're able to and willing, and join us. Now our opening words are Martin Luther King Jr. Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Now we're coming to the Book of Life and the Stones. We have a long tradition at UUFCC of sharing our joys and sorrows and life milestones by entering them into the Book of Life, which is available at the back of the sanctuary. And if somebody, thank you, Trudy, would please bring up the book. If you aren't planning to be in our sanctuary on Sunday morning, you may also send your joy or sorrow to bookoflife@uufcc.org. Messages will be, thank you. Message will be sent no later than Saturday prior to the service. During the Sunday morning service, following the receipt of your messages, the worship associate will enter them into the Red Book of Life. So we have one this morning from Dennis. I am a neighbor of Q and Sue Burgess. On Monday afternoon, their heating and cooling installations blew a major pipe, sending debris into the living room. Yeah, this was hard to read the first time Dennis showed me. Sue fell and was rushed via ambulance to Fawcett ER. Yeah, she's had extensive work on her face for stitches. Scans indicate several brain bleeds, which have been closely monitored. She was in the ICU until Friday. If things continue to improve, Sue may be released tomorrow. Her daughters, Anna and Gordon, with her son, have flown down. For now, things seem to be under control. Thank you, Dennis. That was, yes. We send our prayers and healing energy to her entire family. Now, dropping of the stones in the water. Now, in the spirit of respectful witness, I invite you to share a brief glimpse into the joys and sorrows of your life through a ritual of dropping stones into the water. Please speak into the microphone as you come up.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Kay. Q was the first person to greet me here, 13, 14 years ago. So my heart goes out to Sue and Q. I'm along with freedom. Here we have chains. The song we just sang was an African-American spiritual. They were in chains. So today I think of freedom. Also, gratitude. Thank you to Michael, who took me yesterday to the big Gay Pride Festival in Naples. We must be valiant. We must remain valiant, however we can. We're not fighters. We're the pacifists, the lovers, the pacifists. But we must remain valiant in these days. Love you all. Thank you.
My name is Michael M., and along those lines, since this month is Pride Month, and I'm just I want to share a joy of that I have for allies in our lives, especially specific to the LGBTQ community. Our dear Carolyn right there, if you didn't see her, she was on Wink and Gulf Coast news last night. I have the link if you'd like to see it. And she was interviewed by one of the newscasters there as an ally to the community. And she's a dear friend of mine. We share a lot. We share a lot of history, even with our LDS or Mormon ties in the past, our love of Latin America, just our general community feeling. And I'm so appreciative for her and the words that she speaks, especially for those or on behalf of those that are unable to speak for themselves. And so that is it's a lovely thing to have in my life, and all of you also represent that here, because I know that you would also stand forward with all that. So thank you.
Oh, I'm Alan, and I just happened to see Sue's chihuahuas in the street, and I said I usually try to get them back into the home and back to Q, so I didn't know till that Wednesday she was in the hospital, but I did talk to her yesterday, and we were actually planning, me and Sue, going to the UU in Venice today, but and it's good to see Helen back. And so actually today's my birthday, but I'm going to celebrate a belated birthday next Saturday. Everybody's welcome to come at Fisherman's Village. There will be a blues music festival from noon to 9. So hopefully everybody can stop by there. Thanks.
So a number of things. I'm hoping Margaret's husband is doing well, sending him healing and speedy recovery. It's so great to see a younger person here. My past church had tons of children, adolescents, and I'm a therapist. I work with all ages, and children just light up my life. And I also wanted to be, it was so hard. On the way, just before I came in out of my car, my granddaughter was calling me. I do video calls regularly with my son and my 2 grandchildren because they're in Illinois where I left. And I just love her voice, her little voice, and she's such a light in my life. And one last thing, I love rock music, which I said before, and Procol Harum, Whiter Shades of Grey, was on the radio, and it finished right before I got out of my car. So that was another good thing. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and I'm putting a stone in there. We have a neighbor, his name is Carrie, and his wife died suddenly. They were married 64 years. She hadn't been sick, and the ambulance came because she couldn't get out of bed, and she died. And he is having a hard time. So keep him in your prayers and thoughts.
Hi. I just have a lot of gratitude for looking up here and seeing this wonderful expression of artwork from our team. We have a team of artwork people who are here, the decorating committee. And if you take a minute, I hope you take a minute to look on the side here. This is how several of the people in the community find freedom for themselves. So have a peek at that. It's really inspiring. Thank you.
Just gonna raise this up a little bit. So my name is John, and I've been coming here for probably a few months now, just kind of sitting in the back, heading out right after service. I have had quite a journey in my life, and oh gosh, I'm already getting emotional. I'm going to try not to, but basically, I'm a part of this Facebook group called Pot Smoking Atheists Who Love Dogs. So if that tells you 3 things about me, then I was a pastor for a long time, and I was very let down by the church, and I did become an atheist for quite some time, and in this group online, I really missed church, and just being a part of a group of people, and we were asking on this group, is there anywhere for atheists to go to have any kind of community? And honestly, the answer is no. There's really nowhere for them to go. And then a lot of people were just saying, UU churches, like they accept everybody, doesn't matter, right? So I was like, okay, that's interesting because I do like church. Anyway, so that was several months ago. I didn't come, before, and my journey just kept leading to more and more, I would call them spiritual experiences. Maybe in the scientific community, they'd call them placebo effects. I don't know, right? You just don't know. And so a part of me is still like atheist, but now a part of me is really beginning to feel like there's something more. I just don't know what it is. And I don't need to know, but I do know that love is like involved, right? Like love is like probably the main thing, it seems to be. So that's, just been a journey of mine. And it's only really been the last couple months that I'm like, okay, I'm actually feeling like I can step back into maybe some of my pastoral roles that I felt like had left me because of all the hurt and the pain that I had felt. So I'm healing. I'm feeling pretty good. I appreciate this congregation. Just being able to come and sit and be here with you all has been very nice. I have a family. I have daughters and jobs and just trying to make it, right? So, but I definitely want to be more involved when I can to try and help this movement. So that was long-winded. I'm sorry, but thank you. I appreciate everyone here.
Thank you, John. Thanks for raising the microphone to the proper height. And appreciate you as an atheist, fellow atheist. We have community here. Can't help but make a plug for not only UU, but the Secular Humanists of Southwest Florida. It meets here as well. So for me, I drop a stone in a hope. As you see what's happening out in LA and Minnesota, my hope is that the ICE agents and now the National Guard see the humanity in the people. That's really important. We don't need National Guard or police officers injuring or shooting protesters. They need to take off the mask and look at the people.
I'm Suzanne, and I got the last stone, and this is tears of joy, because this is a big reunion for us.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here.
We knew each other from the Venice UU Church many years ago. Her and her two wonderful children would attend. Yes. Now she's visiting from the UK. Yes. So she gets the award for the longest distance for our service. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I would like to thank you all again. You were so wonderful with the Kappas family that we sponsored. And we were on their journey together with this family, and we still are because they're still here. Although their paperwork is in order, and the mom has Social Security, is able to work for a couple of years, she's worried, and so is her lawyer. She did reach out to her and asked her to put an emergency plan in place. Many things can happen. We're facing uncertain times. And she asked me to thank you for all the support you have given her. And she's asking for your prayers because we see in the news what's happening out there. It doesn't really matter where you are in the process. Everybody's being picked up, and they'll sort it out later. And it's a very challenging time. So keep her in your prayers, and every once in a while, when you can, please reach out to them. Thank you very much.
We thank you all for your heartfelt joys and concerns. It was very moving. The last stone is for the joys or sorrows that might be too tender to speak aloud. Thankful for the breadth of our community, let us now endeavor to support one another in all times and seasons. May this congregation ever be a harbor for the heart and sanctuary for all the souls. Amen. I would now like to introduce our speaker, Ted.
Good morning. The theme for this month is freedom, a very big word with lots of appeal and many meanings. It is our good luck that there are 5 Sundays this month, so more of those versions can be explored. It is a term everyone assumes is self-explanatory. To live free, to do as you like, without annoying limits, constraints, someone telling you what you can do and how. But in reality, how often are we really free to live free? As we've heard just this morning, how many comments that living free is not easy. It is a struggle. It is demanding. For example, there are freedoms to do something and freedoms from having something done to you. Freedom from want, freedom from oppression, freedom from intolerance, freedom from fear, freedom from insecurity, freedom to petition the government, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly. And they must be learned one by one and not necessarily all alone. It is better to work together with others to share in the creation of more free relations with others in common with all. Freedom is not an absolute. Freedom relative to what? One may be free to do as one wishes, but one may not be free of the circumstances and the consequences. How many times has one said in dismay, "What have I done?" Freedom is not free. There are always constraints. For example, countless generations of young people have heard, "You have to marry someone in our faith. or ethnic group, or race, or social class, etc. Not only parents have placed restrictions, national and state governments have too, as we're seeing very much today. At one time, the Roman Catholic priest told elderly folks beyond childbearing age that the sacrament of matrimony was not for them, because marriage was just for producing children, and sex was not for pleasure. In at least one religion, it was taught that a young girl should experience her first period in the home of her husband, who often was 3 times her age or more in an arranged marriage. Bit by bit, such rules, restrictions, and conditions have faded away. Within our lifetimes, quite a few have occurred. Mixed ethnic marriages have become increasingly common, interracial ones too. Not so long ago, gay marriages became legal. The limits on voting rights have been reduced considerably, but obviously not perfectly. Yet we know that freedom is not absolute and does not come free. There are duties, obligations, responsibilities. Freedom must be respected, honored, defended. Freedom is not for one alone, while others are not free. Slave owners may have thought of themselves as free, but they too had their lives warped, corrupted by slavery. To live in a truly free society, all must have freedom in some equal measure under the common law. One cannot be made free. One has to accept it, to take it up, to embrace it, to learn what it means. One has to learn how to accept the differing freedoms of others in mutually acceptable ways, which is hard to do. We may ask, is freedom real, genuine, or an illusion, a dream? Partial, perhaps? It is whatever we make of it, but we have to work to keep it. There are those who say there is no free will, that we have evolved from innate matter into the living beings that we are. We chose none of it. The matter we are composed of follows its own rules without our permission. Consider our emotions. They can sweep over us and make so many changes. Have you ever been consumed with rage, overwhelmed with grief, gaga in love, experienced awe? How much of that was under your control? No one is born in all times and in all places throughout all time. The specific social and physical environment into which we are born shapes almost everything we do, everything we think about. Who would you be if born in a jungle tribe, a Chinese metropolitan center, or in another historical age? Psychologist Abraham Maslow pointed out that first we must satisfy our most basic needs. Breathing comes first. Then the need for water and food, and so on through a hierarchy of needs before we, some of us, reach a high level where we can actually freely create a wonderful life of our own, on our own, by ourselves, or have it feel like we can. Poet John Milton, in his famous work Paradise Lost, draws an unexpected image. The eternal God, in timelessness, creates time and all the universe we see. In it, he places the Garden of Eden and then Adam and Eve. They are given dominion over everything, but are told not to eat of the tree of the knowledge of evil and good. As one might expect, they do eat, and are cast out into the ordinary world to toil and suffer evil and good. Milton brings us to understand that the all-knowing God knew how the whole story would unfold from beginning to end before, as the author, he made time to create it. Adam and Eve were never free. So what does it mean when God said, "Let us create them in our image"? People have often noticed that animals exhibit what we call instinctive behaviors. Seasonal reproductive behavior, for example. People do not have sexual seasons. But might we have animal-like instincts? Hard to say. Because we have brains that appear to operate automatically in many ways, but we can also manage and even control such drives. Stimulated by a sexual opportunity, for example, we may find ourselves being swept into it, but we can stop ourselves. Alcoholics may have a compulsive urge to drink, but they can learn not to drink. Does that prove that we have free will? How did many of the founders of the United States look upon freedom? Adams, Franklin, Hamilton, Jefferson, Madison, Washington, and others studied the classical Greek and Roman philosophers and writers, including Aristotle, Cato, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, Plato, Pythagoras, and others. They wrote letters to each other, sharing their thoughts or met to talk about them. Impressed in many cases by the Stoics, they defined freedom as developing self-control, personal discipline, virtue, and dedication to be of use, to serve other people. Such were the people who wrote the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. They had a sense of social duty and obligation. However, many of them were also slave owners. Most understood that it was wrong. Washington's slaves were sold after his death. Jefferson's likewise, except for 3 or 4. They just could not give up the comfortable lifestyle they enjoyed under slavery, as some of them admitted. They were not free of their human failings. Nevertheless, they worked to create a government that hopefully would be able to deal with human fallibilities while granting and protecting freedoms that became models for the world. The present conditions suggest that we are losing our freedoms. All people of goodwill need to stand up and protect our most cherished values and freedoms as best we can before they are all lost. The prospect of freedom is always promising, but many temptations await. For example, under the rubric of freedom of speech and freedom of the press, an article in Atlantic magazine points out that the internet reaches across the whole world now. 75% of the traffic on the internet is pornography. Recently, pornography is getting more violent, more brutal, especially towards women. People all over the world see it as American, although pornography has been present for ages in cultures around the world. The checks and balances built into our government are proving to be a house of cards, subject to the whims of powerful and extraordinarily wealthy individuals. So what can we take from all of this? The word freedom has many possible applications in our lives. Human beings are imperfect and unlikely to ever be totally free in every way. But if we do not hold to our ideals, our dreams, and continue to try to improve, we shall always be less free. Thank you.
Yeah, wow. Thank you, Ted, for your thoughtful words. Now we come to the offering. In our tradition, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. There are several ways you can give. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in our mailbox, or call the office to make arrangements. We're also equipped to accept donations via Venmo app. Payments through the app should be made to UUFCC offering. If you would like the offering to apply to anything other than the operating funds, like our second helping, for example, please indicate that intention on the memo line. Your generosity is always appreciated. Actually, if you're here for the first time, please don't feel obligated to give. Your presence here is your gift for us. We'll now have the offering music.
Okay, my song is called Wild and Free. I wrote it back in 2017 at a dark time. It's about keeping a vision in mind. A vision because we live in a time where we only see a small part of it, but we have to kind of keep the big picture in mind. So sometimes the world seems darker than it is. Sometimes the world seems darker than it is. It's just the sun has gone down and a new day has not yet come round. I feel you out there and I'm holding you close in my heart and in my mind. I've got a candle burning for you that your dreams may all come true. Lift me up with your vision of light, your colors swirling around. Help me to see the way that you see so the darkness doesn't get me down. Lift me up with your sparkling light, give me the vision that you see. A world of beauty and innocence, a world that's wild and free. A world that's wild and free. A world that's wild and free. Windows into a world that's only in your mind. Share them now with me. Bring out the vision for all to see. Lovers of this wilderness, inspire us to protect the fragile and irreplaceable, majestic and the mystical. Lift me up with your vision of light, give your colors swirling around. Help me to see the way that you see so that darkness doesn't get me down. Lift me up with your sparkling light, give me the vision that you see.
world that's wild and free, a world that's wild and free. Sometimes I hear a voice and there's laughter in my mind, stories of love and family, a life lived in true unity. I feel you touched my soul just now with your wonder and your dreams. The treasure in your heart is the gift that you impart. Lift me up with your vision of light, your colors swirling around. Help me to see the way that you see, so that darkness doesn't get me down. Lift me up with your sparkling light, give me the vision that you see. A world of beauty and innocence, a world that's wild and free, a world that's wild and free, a world that's wild and free.
Now we come to the life of the community. It's time to highlight UUFCC's special events and activities. Reminded to religiously read your weekly copy of the updates, which is also includes a calendar and links connecting via Zoom. Additionally, if you would like to have fellowship events highlighted during the service, you can email them to worship associates at bookoflife@uufcc.org. And please look at the back of your order of service. There's many things happening, our fellowship, and please check out our website is very informative. Today, after we leave here, the art committee is proud to present our summer members exhibit for members and friends. Please join us by the art wall and art cases in the back. So we have art on the wall. We have some in the cases in the back, various artists. You will find something you might like. The art reception is after the service today. That way it's wonderful that we are all here to take part of it. The closing words today by William. Yes. Okay, that's it. Yep, come on up. Wow.
Surprise. Hello.
We like surprises.
I'm
yeah.
Randy, and I'm with the Social Justice Committee. And for the coming weeks, we have a focus organization, and I thank Linda R. for giving me this information to share with you. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is since St. Vincent de Paul Care, formerly the Homeless Coalition of Charlotte County, has the mission to make homelessness brief and a one-time event. They also feed people who are hungry, both in shelter and in the greater community. There is a food pantry at the facility for those who need grocery assistance. There are several ways to support their mission and help our neighbors. 100% of the proceeds from Family Five's store support the shelter. They receive donations of clothes, housewares, and some furniture at the store. It is also a good place to shop. When an individual has a job interview, they receive a voucher for an interview outfit, and they find a place to live. When they find a place to live, furniture, linens, and housewares are provided. Shelter residents are served 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. Families and veterans are given priority placement at the facility. In addition, dinner is also served to anyone in need. 50 or more dinners are served each day. Individuals can donate prepared dishes or meals at the shelter. They should be donated in a large quantity and in aluminum pans. There are other ways you can help. Cash donations are appreciated. Volunteers are needed at Fabulous Finds, as well as at the shelter, doing clerical or office work, helping with special events, helping with food service, or picking up food donations at various locations. Hours are flexible to meet your schedule. There is a background check required at a cost to the organization, so an ongoing commitment of even a few hours a month is appreciated. That again is St. Vincent de Paul Care. They're serving the community for many years. It has changed from the Homeless Coalition, but they're still continuing their good works. And anybody who has a what do you call it? An incentive to help out or volunteer, that's a valuable place to give your time. Yeah. Fabulous Fine Store. Okay, that's their store that has, and you can shop there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Our closing words today are by William Glasser. We are driven by 5 genetic needs: survival, love and belonging, power, freedom, and fun. Now, as Dennis extinguishes the flame, please join us in the recitation which is in your order of service. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May these ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Go now in peace. Our closing music is number 318 in the Gray Hymnal. We Will Be One. How appropriate, wonderful song to end our service. Side for drinks and snacks, and remember about the gathering of the art committee here.